Jeffries is the greatest darting force on the planet. Bullseye. Oh, we got one. The fish has been landed. We know he's too good. The world #1, world champion. Incredible stuff.
Let me tell you about A to Z Darts. We're a specialty dart store with over 10,000 different products. We create in-depth videos and blogs to help improve your game and showcase our products. We give helpful advice on how to practice darts, the fundamentals of form and mechanics, and how to make better decisions when purchasing your darting equipment. Whether you're brand new or a seasoned player, we try to provide fun and informative content. I'm Jen, the creative director for A to Z Darts. I've been playing for over 10 years and I've traveled the world competing in and promoting the sport. This is Will. He runs our live streaming company, USA Darts, and travels the globe as well to broadcast major darting events and interview PDC players alike. You'll find over 2,000 different sets of darts on our website. Guessing right now you're pretty interested in our resources? Learn about form, throwing mechanics, practice routines, scoring and grouping, checkout methods, cricket strategy, and much more. Visit a-zdarts.com to take advantage of our blog or follow us on social media at AZDarts today.
Joined by Ryan Watson here at the DPFL Live Event 3 and your amateur winner against Chattanooga in the finals and what was a very dramatic affair on the board. First off, a lot of people are probably wondering who you are. So can you tell us how long you've been playing darts, what got you into the game, and how you got here today?
Yeah, so about 3.5 years of playing darts in general outside of just like being at a bar randomly and throwing bar darts, I guess. I had a lot of friends in the scene back in Alabama that played, and they had a guy that was actually moving away, and they just kind of randomly asked if I wanted the spot. And yeah, I was just like, I've never played, was sure. And then like that first season was actually, I was like the 501 guy, and I was the third slot or the second slot, so I was always catching like the worst players. But I won every game that season, and I was just like, I can't go back now. So it was just like a sickness from then on. 3.5 years, and then I moved to Florida, and then about 2.5 years ago, and it's just been growing ever since. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like we said, the finals against Chad Newton there, it was a high-pressure situation, but you ended up coming out on top, getting $1,000 first-place prize. I mean, is this the biggest event you've won? I mean, what was your thoughts in that moment? I mean, talk us through it a little bit here.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling a lot of pressure because I didn't think I'd get to that point. So I'm the kind of guy where if I'm like, there's a certain point where if I get past it, I'm just like, this is all gravy now. Like, if whatever happens next is extra. So even in that game, obviously you step up there on the stage and it's like, this is a whole new thing, and so you're a little nervous at first. And I actually like the stage more because there's no people around. You feel like you're in a little vacuum. You don't know you're on camera unless you think about it, which I wasn't. But no, it was less pressure and more like, I don't know. I took the pressure off myself a little bit. It didn't seem like he was feeling the pressure either. Just like maybe the missing some doubles got to him, and I wasn't missing that many. So, it wasn't a great game, but like it was a grinder. It's just, you got to win those. Like, I think, yeah.
Well, you did win it, in fact, and
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to go into an event hall like this where there's PDC Tour card holders, CDC Tour card holders, people that have done amazing things at the top of the dart game for a very long time, what does it feel like to be competing in the same room as them, get a chance to meet a lot of these darting idols?
Imposter. But it's just really cool. Like, it doesn't feel real. Like, there's no other sport where you can just like, you can't just like go play basketball with LeBron, like, then that's not to say that's exactly what this is, but when you walk into a space and there's like Jim Van Veen and Matt Campbell and then Jermaine Watermain over there, these are guys that I watch every day. Like, not every day, but when they play, I watch them. Like, some of my favorite players. And so, yeah, that feels weird. It feels weird that I'm just like, I just drove down the road and then here I am with PDC players and I can talk to them and play with them. It's really weird. Yeah.
And I mean, you're also very undercover looking in the sense that you have the t-shirt on and the ball cap and everything. Obviously winning the amateur event, what's your next aspirations? Are you going to try to get maybe a jersey sponsor? Are you going to try to continue to keep grinding it out, or where do you see yourself going for the next step of your dart game?
I don't know. I don't think about that. Like, that feels not likely or possible. But it's something I want to be really good at. And that's all I really care about, is just getting better at it. And, I most of the time I play every day. I practice every night at home. Like, even if it's 30 minutes, I'm going to throw a few darts. So I think just like, it's less about what I want to do and just like how good I want to be. I want to be one of those guys that's up there, averaging 80s, I want to have those 100 average games. I don't know. I want to see what's possible, I guess, is all I really care about.
Well, we're excited to see what's possible as well, and we appreciate you taking the time to chat with us here. Again, you gave us a great performance on the stage, and it's looking bright for the future of Florida darts, with Ryan Watson being a welcomed addition to it, and we wish you nothing
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Saturday Shenanigans here at the DPFL Live Event number 3 for morning coverage of Super Cup 1 and 2 in Kissimmee, Florida at the Reunion Resort. I'm Sean Green, play-by-play commentator, joined by my partner in comms this weekend, Nick Dichiria. Nick, the Saturday Shenanigans has already started off with a board issue.
Well, that's what the shenanigans is for. But, of course, the tournament staff was quick to try to get it fixed up for us here. And we're excited for some shenanigans. You know, there's going to be some debauchery, some fun, some happen-nots and happen-sos. It's going to be a great time here, and I'm looking forward to calling some great games with you. And, of course, calling games with Will Stuart on the controls as well.
Well, we got a Super Darts 2 match that we're starting off here on the stream. This is for Nick. Tell us the difference between Super Cup 1 and 2.
Yeah, Super Cup 1 and 2, easy enough. It's just a cutoff at the 65 average there. That is going to be the difference maker between these guys. We saw that with the amateur event from Thursday. 6,500 does not mean anything quality-wise.
All right, well.
Oh.
You can see there's a little extra kick in that throw.
Yeah, it looks like they're just trying to see who gets the bowl first here. It is if it's out, it's out. If it's in, it's in. PDC style diddle, as you can clearly see.
Yeah, which is always fun, right? Because especially when you're on the live stream, and these gentlemen are in a tough spot, right? You're on the live stream for the first match of the stream. You have to shoot the diddle. At some point, literally, I've been so bad at this with my colleague that's also been so bad at this that I have just decided, hey, how about on this one we just do closest? And they can't really do that now. So
no, absolutely not. So
all right,
let's talk about
talk about these gentlemen here real quick. Sorry.
No, I agree.
Timothy Lane plays out of Raleigh, North Carolina, originally from Richmond Heights, Ohio, and I can always tell you that he's right now working at improving his dart game. Is what it actually says on Facebook during the Facebook stalking that I just did. That's how I know this is the right one. And then Johnny Nolan. He works at Contractor. But he lives in the Bronx, New York, originally from the good old Big Apple, New York. So he's going to have a little bit of that Joey Lanaw. He's got the DJ D jersey, so I'm going to guess he knows those guys.
Those guys over there.
Those guys.
Yeah, no, this should be a pretty interesting affair because if we recall the storylines, I don't remember exactly who won Super Cup 2 last year, but there are some big names in this bracket, and there's some names of people that are right on that cusp of really kind of making that breakthrough, right? These are your journeymen or your newcomers trying to kind of submit their name on a trophy here at the DPFL Live Event.
Yeah, it's also got a lot of those talented female shots that are playing in this today.
Yep. Like
Laura Dinch and Jen Kochi. But Tracy Firetag plays in this one. But, yeah, at the top there you got Ralph Willis the third at a 74 three-dart average is the current leader here in the Super Darts 2. And then in Super Darts 1 right now, Young Buck just keeps running through those fences, and that's Danny Young.
Yeah, the better Young Buck of the dart players, by the way, not me, for the record.
I would politely disagree in the better version of that. I would say Danny's a great guy, but I'd rather sit next to you.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Don't tell him that he's bigger and stronger.
Oh, yeah. I don't think either of those things is true. He might be stronger.
He might be stronger.
But, yeah, but Danny's a great guy. Yeah, definitely not. You know, whatever. Hey, Danny.
Danny Baggish, how was your match against Tucker Davey?
It was great. I improved from my last night.
All right, so as we're waiting for these two gents to hit that center of the start board, which I know that this is almost more of a nightmare scenario for these guys than if the averages were just poor overall. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. They're just having a little bit of frustrations here, trying to get it going. And absolutely, it happens to me almost every time I go for the bull nowadays on the dartboard. Let's talk about while these guys are getting settled in. Last night, we got to see that DPFL Championship event. What were your thoughts there, especially watching? Actually, let's backtrack even further. The qualifier event that led in to that final there. I mean, you look at those four finishers from that, and you got Wadamina, Campbell, Brown, and Van Veen.
that made the run there. Out of those guys, 2 of them ended up finding each other in the finals, and they came 6,000 miles to play against each other. It was a pretty impressive affair.
Yeah, I agree. It was honestly the qualifiers did exactly what they were supposed to do. In the results of, you had Jermaine Wadamina and Gian Van Vliet, the 2 finalists, qualify the night before for the event, and then go through and able to get that done. And what that's going to do for next year, first of all, it proves the qualifiers work.
Yep.
And the qualifiers are a good prize just for coming over here for maybe even some of our higher quality PDC pros that are also going to come back more and more because of it, right? But here we go. Looks like we are going to be off and running here shortly.
Yeah, it looks like there was actually another issue with the tablet, it seems, up there, because I actually do see a tournament official taking a look.
Perfect.
So, but they just got the stage, so I think we should be good to go here. Or maybe the last couple warm-up darts, it seems. Yeah. Just going to be getting everything set there real quick. It looks like just one of those things where it's
new tablets, you have to switch over some stuff.
New tablets, you have to switch over some stuff.
Yeah. That's all you need to know. Just kidding.
That is. No, I will say we were absolutely spoiled with great matches. So from the first 2 days in general, but particularly last night, I mean, anything that we got on the stream, you were seeing at minimum mid-80s, but we'll be honest, times where we were seeing in the 90s and the hundreds, and sometimes a 90-plus average wasn't enough yesterday.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. It was one of those situations where we saw 4 ton-plus averages, a 111 from Gian Van Vliet. Van Veen, I apologize. Stop. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not an accent. I'm just missing it, how I say his name, and that's terrible. So the good news, they weren't actually diddling there. They were just warming up overall, and that's my story. I'm sticking to it. You get one in there?
Yeah, maybe. It looks like it's dart's sneakily hiding it there.
Yeah, it's the. Oh, there you go. So yeah, they were definitely just warming up. And just throwing random darts. Thank the good Lord Almighty that was the case. As immediately they get back into it. But Johnny Nolan's going to get the start here again. The Bronx, New York resident, starting down on the 19s. And look at this. Super Cup 2 is off and running.
He's like, get me away from those bulls and let me start hitting some triples. That's what I want to be doing.
Great start. It even made my voice crack a little bit on the excitement. A 135 start from Nolan. Lane also starting down on the 19s. Lane, a more unconventional shot. Let's just call it what it is. He puts a lot of movement in that upper body and lower body when he shoots. Makes the dart a lot harder to be consistent. Whereas Nolan definitely just has that nice, easy hinge. Where he's struggling with is that release point when he struggles there. Still, both these guys much better dart players than myself. So, we were off and running. They're going to still throw, so that means it must be an issue that's not a issue for the players. So that's what happens when connection points don't necessarily match up. Guys, hit that like button, hit that share button, let everybody know that we are live here for this wonderful event. They probably have a different code. Because we saw Tim messing with the board code, so I'm going to guess it's a different board code. Hey, look at that. And, guys, again, Sunday shenanigans just mean, early and often. Look at this. Great darts from Lane. 95 scored.
It is Saturday, by the way.
What did I say?
You said Sunday darts.
Whoa.
It feels like it a little bit here, but hey, you know what? We're underway here, and I'm excited. Like I said, we talked about it. We saw Ryan Watson do the great amateur in the 65 and under amateur event from Thursday, and he proved, as well as Shad Noon as well, how great of some of these matchups can be. They're a lot more nail-bitery, right? There's some moments where there's opportunities squandered and opportunities capitalized on.
Yeah, absolutely. Timothy Lane played in Group C of Division 4 in DPFL Darts Season 10. Or he's playing that right now. 2 matches played. He is 0-2 right now, but looks like it's a tough field that he's going up against anyway. Does not give an average on what he's doing.
So
and it's a fun fact that I just learned.
Sean, you commentate a lot of high-level darts on the steel side of things and in general, but especially on the steel side of things. What does separate? Why are some of these guys right at that 65 line that aren't quite crossing that threshold to those higher averages? What is the difference maker there?
It's a great
on
question.
Average.
And it's one that I can't give you an answer, so to speak. It is going to come down to consistency overall, right? An average goes up with the more consistent you are, naturally, unless you're consistently throwing what I am, and then guess what? You're just going to stay at 50 for your entire life. But yeah, so that's not for me to say. I've never broken that threshold. However, I'd like to reverse the question on you. What was that moment where you were able to kind of break through that 65 average and start averaging above that?
For me, it was as simple as just playing League with Kenny Doyle for a little bit. It really does help you snap out of anything. But on top of that, it is also just about putting the time in on meaningful practice. I think there's a discrepancy. A lot of people think, oh, if I just throw a little bit every day, which does help, don't get me wrong. But there's a difference between just chucking at the board and having meaningful practice where you're either working on your form or you're working on your mindset, your math, just your comfortability around the board. There's so many different individual facets of the game. And all it takes is just a little bit of time focusing on each and every one at a time.
So are you telling me that when I just play the level 6 bot on Dart Connect over and over again and cheat if I'm, if I don't have a good round, I'm like, I'm not going to take that one. Just rethrow those 3 darts real quick. And then when I get to the doubles, like say I miss 9 of them, and then the bot annoyingly misses again 9 darts, I'll just be like, all right, fine. I got close enough to the wire. I'm going to call this good.
Yeah, well, you just have
to. So don't do that.
Yeah, you just have to find the right practice routines for you. As he does peg that treble 19 there on the first dart.
Double 18. Just on the inside.
I get it.
Nolan, I think, is a newer player that's going to continue to get really, really good. Mm-hmm. His throw is very, very good. Consistency is what is lacking there, and something that he's going to work on.
Well, and when you're wearing a dart jersey, it makes you 5% better darts automatically.
You're not wrong, especially when they look that good. On the reverse side of things, you know who's the smart person? Who's the wise one in this group? Of course, the wise gentleman with a sweatshirt on in this venue. Taking the wisdom of the past 2 days.
Trying to work it in there. Can you find it? All over that double 9. Just not able to collect. And 46 has a chance to go. 14 for the green bit.
All right.
But also, I see you're calling him wise.
I love the 10-6.
Calling someone wise while they're wearing a hoodie in Florida during the summer is crazy, by the way. I just want to say that. Right here.
Either crazy or they're from Florida.
That is true.
He is actually from North Carolina, though.
Well, then you just lied.
Fair. Single 14 splits it, so double 2. And pins the double 2 for leg number 1. So Johnny Nolan off and running. 1-0 scoreline. Race to 2 here in this last 32 of the Super Cup. 265 minus is what that means, where the average starts off below that number. However, to win this event, just like it is in any average of any division that you play, soft tip, steel tip, where you yell sandbagger over and over again to people as you lose, right? You have to shoot above that average that you play in league and remotely or in person for these big tournaments, or else you're not going to win.
No, you're absolutely right there, Sean. And these guys, they're very well aware of what needs to be done if they want to hoist the trophy at the end of this, right? And let's be honest, some of these trophies here are pretty cool. You got the rings out there that you get
really
and everything,
awesome.
right?
Yeah.
It's a little special. I always appreciate tournaments that put a little thought and care into what trophies are given. I know my favorite trophy is actually in Florida at the Space Coast Dart Tournament. They have space shuttles that they give you.
Cool. Yeah, that's a good one. The Western New York Shootout up in Batavia, New York. The streaming area is actually, they hand build a saloon, an actual saloon with like wood and everything.
Yeehaw.
And then their trophies are related to that Western theme, right? So belt buckles on ribbon is what they are.
I like that. That's
it's
awesome.
really cool. And then engraving on the back is what the event was, what the prize was. And then there's an MVP trophy. If some of our Europeans were watching yesterday with Hossie Hicks playing, and they were focused on the guy in the Stetson, well, you win one of those if you win the MVP.
Well, that's pretty cool indeed. Now, these guys, they're both opting to go in the 19s, by the way. They've carried this over from the first leg. That's pretty interesting to see that they're – normally you can see one of the guys doing it every now and again. Both of the guys doing it makes it for a very interesting dichotomy in this matchup.
You're correct. It's a rare scoring target to just start off with. You can see the top players will still attempt 20s to start off with for the most part. And then if that's not working – they'll move to the 19s for their scoring. These two gentlemen, of course, know what's best for them, and it's 19s. It's going to give them the best opportunity to score.
Just taking that extra moment to gain some composure here. Going to just try to focus on getting himself in range to set up. And that's, you just have to start thinking about it. The more your game progresses, you'll notice the top level players are thinking about their darts and their routes from the very beginning of the game. As we do get a wave in the camera. Hi, we see you. Appreciate that. So
love it.
These guys have to be conscientious of the fact of, hey, how do I get myself to the right range? What numbers lead me to the best possible outcomes? These are sort of the things that start weighing on your mind, or should be weighing on your mind to some degree, especially just because it makes you feel more comfortable. It makes you feel like there's more of a plan rather than just dealing with what you're giving yourself.
Yep. But in these situations, Nick, would you agree that for these tournaments and things like that, especially with averages that fluctuate, of why they're below that 65 threshold, they'll have some legs where they're going to throw well above that. They're going to have some legs where they're struggling a little bit, right? You just got to take it match by match. You got to play the opponent that's in front of you and not look ahead at any point.
Well, remember, guys, if you have an average, that's the number you're supposed to throw every time. If you throw above it, you're cheating. If you throw below it, you're sandbagging.
Yep.
No, there's absolutely fluctuations. The difference between the 65 and under is not that they can throw darts particularly any better or worse, but just less consistently. They have the same ceiling. They can play a great game, a near-perfect game at times, and then there's going to be the next game where they're going to be like, I don't even know what my hands do. I don't know how they throw darts. I don't even know how to grab a dart. That's the difference maker. So you're right. We're going to see fluctuations. You're going to see the leg out where someone throws a 12 to 15 dart leg, and then follow it with maybe a 21 dart leg.
Yeah, the top 64, they averaged 44 for Timothy Lane and a 48 for Nolan. So they're both above those averages currently after the first leg and going into the second. Their scoring not ideal here for what they'd expect it to be even at this point.
Yeah, obviously a little bit below the margins, but this is where it becomes important. Right now they're in tandem. They're right next to each other. The important part is just who gets the most opportunities at a checkout, especially when you're feeling uncomfortable. It's just let me get that extra couple darts at it. Let me get that extra double because one of them just might, in fact, go in.
And folks that are tuning in with us, we're not assuming that they're uncomfortable up there. We know they are, and it's because if it was me, I'd be uncomfortable up there. And knowing what I average in steel tip and knowing that I have people watching along with me and at home. And my goodness, when you're from Queens, New York, or Bronx, New York, sorry, excuse me, and that's where you live, I can guarantee you don't need enemies. Your friends are going to harass you over and over again depending on how you throw.
Certainly agree there. You can see the look of frustration on that secondary. Kind of got away from him a little bit.
You're going to miss by 2.
That's right. At the end of the day, it's still an effective scoring round that just starts to get Dichiria ever so closer to that finishing line. And let's be honest, Nolan wants to get this 2 straight and maybe immediately go take a stretcher, take a breather after, because the delay of the tablet change and get everything set up and stuff can definitely throw off the momentum. And even if it shouldn't, it still does play a factor in anybody's mind to some degree.
And let's talk about this real quick, guys. I love having these Super Cup 2 matches on stream because what did we get yesterday, right? We got 2 PDC pros in the final where they're averaging over 100 and all of that. It's nice to get the everyday backbone spirit of this game, the players that are just grinding, trying to improve and get better over and over and over again, is been playing maybe for 20 years, maybe for 30, maybe for a year and a half, and they're just improving at that point. But it's good for our audience to see that, first of all, darts is challenging, even if you play it over and over again. And secondly, it's a tough game. It's a tough game, and these players that are that good, right?
It shows the contrast between the two, but also on top of that, you're right. It's the backbone of the dart community. It's the reason these tournaments exist, is not for the top level, but also for everybody that plays week in and week out that actually supports the program.
18 for double 18. This is for the match, bud. That's a happy little accent. Left 32. Double 16. And you could tell he didn't really have to think about that. It's because he's like me. He's missed in that 4 a few times, shooting at the 36.
Oh, we've all been there.
Oh, my gosh, look. It's my favorite Baggish in the background. That'd be the little one.
That is true.
Baby Baggish is here.
The correct answer is anybody but Danny, by the way. That is what we were looking for there on that survey.
I like that Lane left himself 89. Now, bullseye to stay in it. I think that when it releases his hand, or when it released from his hand there, he's like, maybe?
Maybe.
And
Who
then
knows?
And then it just did not float the way that he was looking for. All right. Nolan take this out 2-0. Double 8 goes in the bottom corner pocket. Johnny Nolan. Guys, let's be fair. We did not realize they were just warming up with the diddle earlier. That was way better than we were expecting after watching those guys just play around.
Yeah, I think that they were just getting a couple extra darts in there as, again, we didn't realize that they were still working on that set issue, like you said there, Sean. But no, good start to the stream here, and we also have some great matches coming up in Super Cup 1 as well, as that bracket shaping up to be pretty interesting, if I have to say so myself.
Tell me about it.
That's great. I would love to tell you about it. Kevin Luke just moved himself into the top 4 semifinals in our next match on the stream board. Kevin Luke, Danny Young there, as Danny Young came through Levi Kranzel in the previous round. On the other side of things, Hossie Hicks, Ethan DeVibe DeVera playing it out on our other board. So we'll probably get our semifinal and then our final for Super Cup 1.
Yeah, how about that? The CDC match play champion, Kevin Luke, ESPN athlete, who will be taking on Young Buck. So Young Buck will be calling a match for Young Buck.
Love it.
How do you feel about that?
I love it. Looking forward to it. We're going to make sure these guys get settled in, get set up here, and then we'll be ready in just a moment's time for our semifinal of Super Cup 1.
Yeah, listen, if you do not know who Danny Young is,
you're about to.
You are about to. He is going to show you a lot of fantastic talent. And Kevin Luke, they're 1 and 2 in averages right now in this event, so grab some popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. Early 10:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sean Green, Nick DeShare will be back with that semifinal of Super Cup 1 right after this. Welcome back to Saturday Shenanigans here at DPFL Live Event number 3 for morning coverage of Super Cup number 1 and 2 in Kissimmee, Florida at the Reunion Resort. This is the semifinal that we're going to get for Super Cup 1. That's that 65 and above average. I'm Sean Green, joined by Nick Dichiria. Nick, I believe we already have an update on the second semifinal.
We do, in fact, have an update. Hasi Hicks takes out Ethan Devibe Devera, which you can see is currently chalking this match, in a 2-1 fashion there. So Hasi, of course, the one of the many people in the fun Scott Hanish clip from yesterday.
He was the one who had zero reaction.
But I said it when we saw him on stream for the first time, was that his form as of late has been impressive.
Yep.
And he's really been playing pretty good on the dartboard. We saw the Cherry Bomb. He started off our stream with a 180 as our first shot of the entire thing. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, all right, so Hasi's picking it up. He's in charge of Dart Chat, the Dart Chat platform.
Yep.
I'm curious to see, and it's a good run for him here. I mean, in this field, this is an incredibly stacked field.
Oh, absolutely. He's done what he's really expected himself to do. Hasi Hicks, CDC professional. He's had his tour card for quite a while. He's made some runs in CDC events before. He's used to, in a field of this caliber, to do that type of thing. But it's cool to see him in the final. And, guys, we're going to get a Stetson hat in the final. I'm excited.
That is, in fact, true. And, I mean, we'll be completely honest. Danny Young and Hasi Hicks are kind of like some dark horses of this potential bracket, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And you look at Kevin Luke, I would say he's probably one of the favorites on paper going into this. One of the other notable favorites, of course, Danny Baggish, that went out in style to Tucker Davey, which played phenomenal in that match, averaging around a 90.
And that's what it takes to take out someone like Danny Baggish in the top 32.
Absolutely, it does.
All right. The juxtaposition we're going to see here, guys, from Super Cup 1 and 2 is just going to be consistency speaking. Those guys are going to hit those trebles a little bit more consistently. They're not going to spray their darts as much, but there's still going to be some of that.
Mm-hmm.
Even from favorite Kevin Luke, who it's good to see him be known as a favorite coming into an event like this.
Yeah, honestly sometimes overlooked more than he should be for how much he's played at the top level for so long in North America.
I would agree completely with that. And Danny Young is the new kid on the block, right? Young Buck fits that perfectly. 125 was smart from Kevin Luke, leaves a steady ton.
That was smart. Smart dart on the last.
Young 86 left. Now 83, so treble 17.
For double 16. Oh, catching the wire on both of those darts. They were pretty much near perfect.
They were wiry.
Wiry. All right, I don't know what the accent we were going for there, but I love it. I do appreciate, by the way, not that it's a mandatory rule, but to hold on. Maybe double 10 does get it for Kevin Luke. I will say, do appreciate that even though Ethan did not have the semifinal go his way, did decide to stay in chalk. It just shows the professionalism and that another promising young talent, right, that we talk about. I really do appreciate his sportsmanship as well.
Very much. And semifinalist here in this event, which is good for him. He's a player that we know how good he is, and he's starting to figure out how good he is, but very humble kid, as the best kind of are. And for him to make that semifinal run today, have some success this weekend, is probably going to lead to more success this weekend.
And you know, we talk about, you know, young kids with good success. Danny Young, of course, we've brought it up a couple times now. But he just has that comfortability on the stage so far from what we've seen. He seems like he's just one of those naturals, and his form on top of that, rock solid. Just nice, clear stopping points, draw back, follow right through it.
Yeah, it's a great throw. If you're looking for a throw that is pretty textbook, it's that one. Whereas Kevin Luke uses a lot of feel in his throw. That works out great for him. Young from the Dallas area of Texas, which is interesting because you think of steel tip in Texas, or you think of the big hub of darts in Texas, you think of Houston and surrounding areas there, especially for our soft tip, Star City and things like that.
Absolutely.
Danny's from a little bit of a different area, so even there's Texans that are wondering about this new kid on the block from the Dallas area.
Double 18.
Yep. Just on the outside. He will come back with the 36 remaining, Kevin Luke, after 12 back on 184, is not what he was trying to throw there.
Yeah, it looks like it's primed up to be a one-on-one scenario, but this is where experience can shine through and falter for some. Danny needs to hit this double, needs to make sure to stay careful because Kevin Luke will pounce if he gets a shot at 95. Does
First start.
Go in. So 1-1 here in our semifinal, and we're going to see Kevin Luke does get the start, and he's going to take full advantage of it. Almost full advantage of it.
139 is the start that Kevin Luke's looking for. Danny Young going to have to put in a couple troubles just to stay with it. That'll work.
Yeah, well, and that dart is just catching the left side of the barrel there. You, of course, want it to go to the right side, but it's a good start to be in response to an informed Kevin Luke, but Kevin's going to throw the book at him here.
Yeah, Kevin doing exactly what he needs to do with the throw in a last leg decider, which is kind of what you expect out of a favorite in this tournament.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things where he's taking full advantage of that opening diddle just being so important, especially in this particular format. Of course, if Kevin Luke does win this, anytime he wears this jersey, there's always like a comment or two about, hey, this is the last time Cowboys won something this century.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a juxtaposition on him being a favorite in this tournament because I can't remember the last time the Cowboys were a favorite in anything.
Here we go.
Kevin would have liked to set it up a little bit better. Young can put some pressure on this 112. Through the smart dart on dart 1. Now he needs to find that treble. Does find the treble. Leaves himself the big fish.
Yeah, that's a massive last start. But, of course, it only matters if Kevin gives the opportunity back over, which he will.
Yeah, 90 left for Luke. He was blocked on the 18s, went at the bull. Did what everyone does in that situation, not named professional dart player, and then hit the 1.
What a way to make the finals this would be.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted it. You kind of wanted to see it. It does get the second one in there. Just going to try to tee up. Kevin Luke, 89, not a give me. It is a 2-dart checkout, but not a give me by any means.
It might only be 1 dart at the bullseye.
Double 16. Does pin it right there. That was a very clean, and that's the experience, right? That is your time at the top of the game, making you feel comfortable, and those must-hit checkouts right at the tail end of it. I mean, impressive stuff from Kevin Luke. The F does stand for friendly today.
What has really happened is Kevin has improved in that aspect of his game, which is why he's now favorites to do those things. The 2-dart checkout, even if we expect him to get the 1 dart at the bullseye, we're expecting him to get that 1 dart at the bullseye and throwing a good dart at it.
And once again, young buck just proving to be a promising talent that I'm looking forward to seeing more and more out of. Semifinal run here is nothing to scoff at, as even Danny Baggish could make the semifinals of this event. And that just shows the testament of how tough this field is.
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't even make the top 16. So, Danny Young, another great performance in a tournament.
Better Danny in this tournament.
That falls a little bit short at the end of the day. Yesterday, he had the highest average in singles cricket throughout the event and still was upset after his match. And I told him that, you should be. You're allowed to be upset at the end of the match. And he was going to be upset a little bit here. But you can tell the good run for the semifinal. We're going to have the final coming up next. It's going to be Kevin Luke taking on, you can see the Stetson already showing up, Hossie Hicks. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more coverage and that final right after this.
Right after this.
Danny Baggish here, #1 commentator. See, what happens, guys, is they talk about me. I say something to the uppers, and he's gone. He's fired. So here I am. It was that simple. So correct, I didn't make top 16, didn't make the finals, but that's okay. I have a new job, and he doesn't. So if anybody can take applications for Nick Dichiria, please do, because he's going to be looking for a job. Kevin Luke versus Hossie Hicks coming up. Guys, they'll be back. Sean Green, Danny Baggish, and somebody else. Maybe even Will Stewart. We might even get Ed Chambers, Tim Way, somebody on here. But Nick is actually, he's walking out right now. Thanks, guys. We'll be back.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Saturday Shenanigans here at the DPFL Live Event number 3 for the final of the Super Cup 1 event this morning that started at 9 a.m. It's only 11 a.m., and this thing's already over. That's amazing. Live in Kissimmee, Florida at the Reunion Resort, I'm Sean Green, joined by Nick Dichiria. Nick, last night featured probably, I don't know if DPFL could have thought of a better way a tournament could have gone with the DPFL championship than it did last night. With the qualifiers making it through, now that's going to open up the door for a lot more of those players to want to come over and potentially get that opportunity. And you had a good balance of the top Americans versus the top Europeans there in the semifinal, and then a couple of great runs from some players that had struggled a little bit, like Harry Carter.
Yeah, no, last night just showed what is possible when we pay attention and give love to the game, right? That is entirely what it's about. And year in, year out with this event, it just seems to continue to push that boundary of what is possible here and what you can see as these players are going to also try to push the boundaries of what they're going to perform for, because they know it's getting tougher every year. They know every match is getting harder. And the fact is that iron sharpens iron, and these players are all becoming greater for that reason.
Love Hossy Hicks, the way that he represents the CDC logo. You know, he had to make those shirts, like get those shirts made with that CDC logo on there. It's just an Under Armour jersey that it's nice and comfortable in, and just added some logos to it.
Yeah,
smart decision.
As Kevin Luke does get that dart falling out of the board, but no, I mean it's crazy to not only have the CDC like little sponsorship shout out, but then you have the dart chat, and Under Armour's a big gain for a sponsorship.
It
for
is
him.
really, really good. That Stetson's going to be Under Armour next year.
Well, right now he does get himself to a finish, but Kevin Luke at 76 showed in the last leg his finishing can be spot on. 8-8, now over to the 4. Does not go in, but his finishing really was spot on in the semifinal at the right times. That is how he got to this point, and this is still a first to 2 leg format, so it's blink and you miss it.
Yeah, and Hicks should get a dart here. 76 would leave that 32. Easy switches. This is to hold the throw. And in a race to 2, you don't want to have your throw broken right away.
And that dart just looked a little nervier than the other two from Hossy there. 2 now for Kevin Luke. Doesn't go in, though, so no harm, no foul. Hossy Hicks for a hold to throw.
Did you hear that?
Who's that?
That was opportunity knocking, and Kevin Luke did not answer.
Oh, and it does go for Hossy Hicks as he rocks it in there to the 8-8.
1-0 lead for the man in the hat.
A man, a myth, and a legend. Your name's Hossy Hicks, and you have a hat like that. You've earned legend status in my book. But this is also a testament, right? I mean, Hossy Hicks has never been a bad shot as far as I've ever known him, at least. But he's just starting to find that area of improvement. And I always tell people, when you stagnate in your game, that is going to happen, but you can always push past that boundary. I truly believe darts is one of the only sports where anybody, if they really truly put the time in, can be at a professional level, at least in moments at times. There's no moments where I'm going to go to the basketball court and be Steph Curry, right? Let's just be real. But there's moments where I can throw, at least for a leg, like an Alex Spellman or a Kevin Luke. For a leg, maybe one. Just like one leg.
Yeah, I thought that actually could be me. And then I looked up my stats on Dark Connect, and my highest leg is a 16 darter. So I've never even averaged over 100 in a single leg of darts on Dark Connect. Shocking. 125 there for Kevin Luke. It does put him not on a finish. Hicks, though, a little bit behind.
Yeah, he was already asking for a big round needed there, and Kevin Luke's going to just absolutely set himself up in pretty much near perfect position there.
Yeah, 96, it leaves a 2-dart finish, which we've seen Kevin Luke easily knock out of the park. Apparently this is where all of the ladies are meeting now, is right next door to us. Hey, Ed, you're looking too good. You're bringing the ladies around.
Apparently.
Tops just goes high there, so opportunity for Hicks. Shanghai for the match.
This would be an incredible. Yeah, this would be incredible. Big moment here. Oh, my goodness. He's going to get a dart. He's going to get a dart for the match. Double top. And it goes for Hossy Hicks. He takes the Shanghai for the win.
Great darts from Hossy Hicks. 2-0 victory for him. And wow, Kevin Luke misses the opportunity at doubles, and now all of a sudden the match is over. Hossy Hicks, you're champion of the Super Cup 1.
Yeah, what a big moment there. That was an absolutely incredible shot from Hossy Hicks, and really the Dark Horse wins it. They do.
Listen to the fans for Hossy Hicks. They're going insane.
Yeah, apparently.
The ladies are cheering. They're having themselves a day. Hossy Hicks, your champion, the Happy Hatter.
I'll be honest. It's just a testament to how many ladies were watching that final there for these gentlemen there, it seems.
And then they all left as soon as it was over.
Jokes aside, though, I mean, Kevin Luke really has had a great form as of late.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about the CDC match play. We've talked about his performance as an ESPN athlete.
Yeah.
He's been playing really well, and obviously he's going to be not happy with his result in that final leg there. But he's really just proving time and time again he is going to get results. He is going to get these finals placements, these semifinals runs, whatever it may be. I'm really happy to see that for Kevin Luke as someone that really has put in the time. We'll be clear. He has put in plenty of time traveling to plenty of tournaments.
Yeah, he is absolutely a grinder out there. And don't go anywhere, guys. The Super Cup 2 is getting to the semifinals. Kira Taylor waiting on the winner of Chris Bear, Ralph Willis III, and then Anthony Rothling, Ben Goddard there in that other semifinal. So we're going to get the semifinal of hopefully one of the two. Right now the boards are both sent to outside boards, so we'll get that changed up, and we'll have that covered for you right after these ad breaks. Don't go anywhere.
Luke Humphries is the greatest darting force on the planet. Bullseye. Oh, we got one. Fish has been landed. We know he's too good. The world number 1, world champion. Incredible stuff.
Let me tell you about A to Z Darts. We're a specialty dart store with over 10,000 different products. We create in-depth videos and blogs to help improve your game and showcase our products. We give helpful advice on how to practice darts, the fundamentals of form and mechanics, and how to make better decisions when purchasing your darting equipment. Whether you're brand new or a seasoned player, we try to provide fun and informative content. I'm Jen, the creative director for A to Z Darts. I've been playing for over 10 years and have traveled the world competing in and promoting the sport. This is Will. He runs our live streaming company, USA Darts, and travels the globe as well to broadcast major darting events and interview PDC players alike. You'll find over 2,000 different sets of darts on our website. Guessing right now you're pretty interested in our resources? Learn about form, throwing mechanics, practice routines, scoring and grouping, checkout methods, cricket strategy, and much more. Visit a-zdarts.com to take advantage of our blog or follow us on social media at AZDarts today.
is the greatest darting force on the planet. Bullseye. Oh, we got one. Fish has been landed. We know he's too good. The world number one, world champion. Incredible stuff.
Let me tell you about A to Z Darts. We're a specialty dart store with over 10,000 different products. We create in-depth videos and blogs to help improve your game and showcase our products. We give helpful advice on how to practice darts, the fundamentals of form and mechanics, and how to make better decisions when purchasing your darting equipment. Whether you're brand new or a seasoned player, we try to provide fun and informative content. I'm Jen, the creative director for A to Z Darts. I've been playing for over 10 years and I've traveled the world competing in and promoting the sport. This is Will. He runs our live streaming company, USA Darts, and travels the globe as well to broadcast major darting events and interview PDC players alike. You'll find over 2,000 different sets of darts on our website. Guessing right now you're pretty interested in our resources? Learn about form, throwing mechanics, practice routines, scoring and grouping, checkout methods, cricket strategy, and much more. Visit a-zdarts.com to take advantage of our blog or follow us on social media at AZDarts today.
Here we go. Semi-finals of the Super Cup number 2. Kira Taylor of Newfoundland, Canada, taking on Ralph Willis III. And I'm going to be honest, I do not know where he's from, but he is a big supporter of USA Darts. He was craving a hat earlier. He was asking me for one, and I said, sorry, buddy, you got to go to A to Z Darts for that one.
Get that man a hat. He deserves it. He's on the semifinal on our board, and I'm sure he's going to put on a great show for us here. I'm excited for this one, and I'm excited that we're covering more of the Super Cup 2 in particular here. I think it's always fascinating to see these players and see the difference in where they're at in their game and what they're going to be able to do on the board. I'm just really curious. And, of course, I love that we have a woman in the semis right now.
Yeah, and we've already got a finalist in Benjamin Goddard. How about that? Young man out of Canada as well. Can we make it 2 Canadians in our finals? That is the ultimate question.
I would love nothing more than to see the youth player continue to do some work on the dartboard once again. It is exciting. It is the next generation of darts, and it is the future of where the game is going. You can see right now Ralph just trying to get that scoring to go in his favor, and it looks like he clicked to the other side of the wire there to get to the 95, excuse me. Pretty solid round there, and that's going to be the difference makers. It's not about having the biggest hits in the world. It's about having the most consistent rounds in between. If you're finding yourself falling right into the singles, then you're getting 60 points a round, and you're right around that 65 average that you're expected to be at in this cup.
Yeah, 65 or lower. I think right now Kira's averaging fairly well.
Yeah, overall in the event, she absolutely is. You can see that one going a little haywire, but hey, if you're going to miss by 2, especially if you find the trip 12. Trying to get a race to the finish here. See who gets themselves set up first. We talk about time and time again, but especially the difference between the 65 plus and 65 under is the fact of how many darts you get at double, and the more darts, the merrier when it comes to something like that.
Sorry, I'm getting love notes passed to me by Sean Green in the middle of this. I'm trying to figure out what he's trying to say here.
What is it, Old Yeller? Someone's saying, wow.
Well, we went to go grab a drink and didn't get back in time. He's like, give me the mic. I'm like, bro, we're not going to change in the middle of the leg. Come on now. We're all right. So, no, it's all good. Yeah, Kira making that long trek. She fared well in last year's event. I believe she was women's doubles champion with her partner. It's Brian Mercer's missus. We'll put it that way. I do not know off the top of my head her name. I just can't think of it. It's been a solid year, guys.
It absolutely has. Jam, back to the events. I was actually just talking with a player here and trying to see if I can go to a local tournament, and I looked at my calendar. I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to play in a tournament again with how busy we've been.
I'm certain she did well in mixed doubles as well with her hubby.
There you go.
16 for tops. Ooh.
Not going to get a look, and that could be detrimental. Taylor here, 62, should get a dart of this no matter what. Trip 10 for double 16 is the look. See which way she goes about it, though. She did go for trip 10. So now 12 for tops or 20 for double 16. Oh, and goes haywire as well.
Yeah, she does. So here we go, Ralph. Double top. The first leg. Going to have to scramble now. And
oh, not like that.
Yeah, that won't do. Back to Kira.
Yeah. Who's going to have that double go in their favor? Taylor would like to say it's for her. Over to the 10. Not quite going in. Opportunity handed back over. And that's why we talk about you just need to get as many darts as double as possible when you're playing in something like this. Of course, it sounds simple to say. It sounds kind of almost too surface level to say. But it is so important when you're trying to just get yourself comfortable in a format like this.
Kira's going to attack the double 5. That's a good marker dart. 2 good marker darts. Clickety-clack right off the barrel into the double 5.
thought you were going to rhyme it like clickety clack. How about that?
I should have.
I was ready for that.
I should have.
I was ready.
I should have.
Well, on to leg number 2 here, and again, it's a race to 2 format. Blink and you miss it, and every dart will matter. And it seems like Ralph's taking full advantage of the start in this leg, but it's important to note if it goes 1-1, Taylor does get that start in the last leg decider.
Exactly, that is the thing. So.
You can see Melissa Mercer in the chat saying, "Let's go, partner."
So that is her partner, and they were actually runners up in ladies doubles and mix. So thank you for that one, Miss Randall. Like I said, it's been a solid year, but I kind of got there a little bit.
Yeah,
not really, but let's be honest.
Listen, at your age, to remember as much as you do,
All
is
right,
impressive.
bud. All right, bud. Let's calm down there. Don't act like I'm no 72 or nothing. Okay? Probably just insulted the 172-year-old person that's joining us right now.
Oh, yeah, you did offend Sean Green. You're right. Taylor going to try to get a score back in line. Right now, Ralph's kind of dictating this leg, and that's a great last start to find the ton. But he's off to the races. It more than likely will get the first look at a finish here just at the current pacing of play. But anything is possible when you're playing Super Cup 2.
Well, that's what's great about it's a quick, short, sudden death format, which we would like it more, but it's also kind of great in that aspect. Best 2 out of 3 gives anybody an opportunity to beat anybody, and we saw that in Super Cup 1 where maybe those finalists weren't who you predicted. I mean, Kevin Luke's a quality shot. Hazy Hicks, nothing against him. He was our champion, but you wouldn't have predicted him to be in the finals of that matchup, especially with all the players that we had in it.
It was fair to call him a dark horse, and to win 2 straight in the way he did. I mean, don't get me wrong. Kevin Luke said, I gave away that first leg, but he earned the second one. And that was his exact take there. Spoken a little less clearly, but overall that was the message.
Well, we also are seeing it in kind of Super Cup 2 here as well. Let's be honest. I mean, Ralph Willis, don't know a lot about him. Mm-hmm. But, we had a Shad Newton in here. We had a couple other people that I know he's a good shot, or she's a good shot. What is going to happen here?
Yeah, I'm curious to see. Ralph will try to get the set up and hopefully get 2 darts at it, but we'll see. He will get 2 darts at it. Double top. Oh, not going to happen now. Single 3? No, he does just go ahead and leave 20 there. And that's a little curious. Some players maybe have their version to that, but I don't know if I would intentionally leave myself on 20 very often. Just because, especially if it just leaves more room for error than what is to be desired.
So downstairs, kind of clean it up. 99 on the board, but how about this? Double 10, and he collects right in the corner pocket. Oh, a little bit more towards that just fine line of the neighbor.
Yeah, but here, Taylor, with the start here, if she takes advantage of it, is an absolute threat still. I mean, neck and neck in averages pretty much, and they've both shown to have the same ability. It's about who's getting the most comfortable in that given moment.
Exactly. So who's going to book their place to face Benjamin Goddard in the finals?
Taylor does find the triple on the first dart. It's going to follow it. How about this? Oh, how about 140? You wanted it a little bit.
I thought that was going to go.
You wanted it a little bit. And, of course, Ralph's going to be like, oh, I'm going to try to answer in the same way. Gets 100 in there, and that should do just about as well. But Taylor in front, taking advantage of her throw so far.
Dude. If she can, oh, no, she cannot. Just a 26 there. So a door opening possibility for Ralph here. Run through it. Don't walk. Ton. I think that's 43. 41.
Oh, yeah, just hugging the wire there. This is getting a little bit closer. There was a little bit of separation starting to go in Taylor's direction, but they're kind of equaling out here just a tad bit in the semi.
They certainly are here. And up for grabs in this Super Cup 2 for your winner. You're going to come home with $400. Oh,
how about that? There we go. Sorry to interrupt there.
No, you are perfectly fine here. Good time to do so, especially with the darts like that, to kind of get yourself out in front.
Yeah, super impactful turn for that, and super impactful answer from Taylor, it looks like. Even with that last arc going into the trip one there, it's still, you left yourself at a finish, you got yourself in a similar range, and you're trying to defend your throw when it's under attack.
So $200 for second, $100 for top 4. So no matter what, guaranteed taking home 100, which is not bad to start off your day here on a Saturday. Kier for the 111. Got to go 17s for
double
tops.
Oh my goodness, that was a good look at it too. Oh my. And see, that's what I'm saying. You can't count out any of these Super Cup 2 players. They have the ability to do some incredible stuff. Shot for the bullseye for the win, and it hits this green a bit, but not the red one.
And Kira tees up, double top for the win.
And does get it there. We got a lady in the final, and Kira Taylor absolutely earned every bit of that there.
It gets interesting. It gets more interesting than just a lady in the final, buddy.
Tell me about it. What's going on there?
Well, I didn't tell you. Benjamin Goddard's only 14.
Well, I do.
What?
Boom. Whoa. What?
Boom. Tough acting connected. Oh, sorry.
No, all Canada final there. Of course, a youth player, female player. Super Cup 2, the any men's and any women's event, it seems. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that will shape up there. It's going to be a great final. We got a great final in Super Cup 1. Super Cup 2 slated to be an even better final because there's no Cowboys jersey.
Boom. Tough acting connected. See you guys later.
Boom. Alrighty, guys, we're going to figure out what Will's trying to do. I believe it's a John Madden impersonation. We'll get to action in just a moment's time. Before that final, please give us a like, please give us a share, and please go support DPFLdarts.com for hosting this great event. We'll be back in just a moment's time for more darts.
Welcome back to the DPFL Live Event number 3 for this morning coverage of the Super Cup number 2 in Kissimmee, Florida. I'm Sean Green, joined by Nick Dichiria. This is the final of the Super Cup 2, and it features two very, very awesome storylines. You got Kira Taylor from Newfoundland, one of the few female players in this field, making it all the way to the final. I love that. In a situation where we get that argument back and forth between, like, is it a fair sport with genders? And I always will argue that this is the one sport where gender does not matter as much, where age does not matter as much, where height, weight, athletic ability, it is all about can you replicate a throw consistently and have the mental mindset to have success. She's taken on Ben Goddard. Ben Goddard's 14 years old from Ontario. He has one victory on the CDC Youth Tour this season. He won event number 3, not dropping a single leg in the entire event. 4th overall in the standings there. But it's cool to see this final between a young teenager, and a very great female shot in Kira Taylor. Hey, Nick Dichiria, what's up, brother?
Yeah, happy to be commentating in this final one. This should be a great matchup, as you adeptly pointed out there. That was not the word I was looking for. And I'm looking forward to it as you're right. There's no gender bias. There's no age bias in it, darts. And I've said it time and time again. If anybody truly puts the time in, they could be at the highest of high levels. And these are players that put time into their own games. They put times into their craft in general. And they carry the game proudly. And it's just so promising to see a youth talent do this well, to see the female game represented so well. This is the exact kind of matchup I live for, if I'm being completely honest here. And I am being completely honest here.
Yeah, I love that she's wearing the Newfie Proud jersey of the Truth, Jacob Taylor. They are not related as far as I know. Her husband's name is Mitch Taylor, so no relation there. Ben Goddard, again from Severn, Ontario, and his dad, Brandon Goddard, is a CDC professional who had a great weekend at match play.
Now, curious here with Ben, right? I mean, we're talking about his form. He has that nice and clear mechanics. You see he just brings it right up to the 45 and then pulls it right back to the eye line and follows directly through it. But on top of that, I love just seeing that he has had the relationship with Jacob. Saw that he has watching them hang out in the hall, watching them play games and warm up each other. Very reminiscent of watching like a Joey and PJ combination in years back and to this day. You see these youth players make these bonds, these connections. And now gets a shot for the first win here, leg number 1, double 10 to the red bit.
Just on the outside, but those were good darts. And I got a little bit of insider information walking around the venue while I was late to do the last match. Sorry about that. And saw Dad, and the conversation that Dad was having is, forget about being on the live stream, forget about being on that stage, and just throw your darts the way you know to throw the darts. Just trying to settle Ben down a little bit. So you know that there's some nerves there, but so far he has not really shown that at all.
Yeah,
it's been impressive.
And on top of that, I mean, that's just something where it is only going to get through with experience. You don't get any other kind of way to practice a stage here. Double top, good marker dart. She can use that to her advantage. It does kind of get away from her a little bit on that last dart. And honestly, if I'm Ben here, I do think I consider the split here, especially if I know nerves are a factor. Yep. I'd rather take the safer approach.
That's an absolutely great point. You can see him. He steps back. It looks like he might be just attacking it. He is. That's a great marker for it. I like the confidence of him going right at it and throwing those first 2 darts where he did. That was actually an unlucky third. He just missed the flights of the first 2 darts.
Yeah.
It seemed unlikely there. That's one of the worst things you can do with tops left is hit that single one, the other one being the single 5, and I know from experience. 17 scored.
Yeah, awkward position here. 23 left. You're just trying to clean it up, get yourself to 16.
Oh.
Did bust there.
Nope.
Left 2.
Left Madhouse, yeah.
Yeah, wait a second. Hold on.
And Ben does take it out, which I think, if we're being honest, Taylor's probably like, all right, fine. I didn't really want to shoot at Madhouse anyway. That was terrible setup play. But leg number 1 goes to Ben, and the youth player from Ontario is off and running.
She might not actually be okay with that because as much
not at all.
as you had that frustration, you also are now going against the throw and against an opponent that is on match point, right? When you're in a situation like that, the alarm bells start raising and you're trying to do everything in your power to stop listening to them and just focus on the game because you have to have a short memory. You can't be thinking about that because, well, let's be honest, a lot of times Taylor probably does just knock out that 40 in the first 2 darts there, maybe the first dart. So having that go a little bit haywire, it was just purely the stage nerves, the finals nerves, and wanting to get that coveted ring at the end of this.
Yeah, I definitely said that in jest because of all of those reasons. I appreciate you making sure that the people that are watching along know that, that she would not be okay with Ben taking out that first leg. Impressed with Ben's throw. I love that Dad's chalking.
I do love that as well.
And Kiera's real tough shot. I'm telling you, I've been impressed with her performance throughout the weekend. It's awesome to see these two in the final.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
And also, I mean, you mentioned Dad chalking, right? It is as someone that has been a youth player that had his dad chalk for him in steel tip events, it gives you a little extra bit of comfort that is otherwise not there. And neither one of these players are going to treat that as like a crazy advantage that shouldn't be allowed, right? Instead, they're like, okay, well, first off, we're just happy to have a chalker. But second off, it's just comforting a little bit. And give them a sense of familiarity, a little bit of sense of being right at home.
Ben, great two-trouble visit there. Good recovery for the 113. Kiera back on 309, not shooting the 19 route. If Kiera is playing in any type of a same situation as a Jake Taylor, then a lot of their leagues are 1,001, and it's 5 players on a team, and you just play 1,001 the whole way through.
Now that's a grinder.
Once every 10 throws.
That is a grinder. I couldn't even imagine 1,001. That is a marathon.
Yeah, like
sprint.
what are you doing with the other half an hour that you're waiting? You know,
you're absolutely right there. But Ben in a good position to be at the first checkout here, and let's just see how good of a checkout he will set up for himself. Big moments here for him in this match.
Great last. Still a great last.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was right on that wire. I couldn't tell. It was like, right, is it in, is it not? And Taylor chasing from behind in hot pursuit.
I also love the fact that Kiera gets to have bragging rights no matter what over her husband, Mitchell, who was also in the same tournament. Had the highest average of the tournament was Mitchell. But Kiera made the final.
And that's the indifference in darts there. Taylor, 111 will be the look. See if she gets a dart at it.
Tie ball game.
To the 17s.
She almost took that out in the last match.
She did. She did get a dart at 111 in the previous one, as you mentioned. But 64 is now the look, and that's a pretty good spot to be at. Let's just see if he stays true.
Great first
That's
start.
fine. Yeah, there we go.
2 match starts incoming.
Survives them for Taylor, but now in a must-hit situation on a clear checkout. Will get a shot right here for it, and does pin it in 2 darts there for Kiera Taylor.
Wow.
We're going to a last leg decider here.
That was clutch from Kiera Taylor, and I love the treble 12, double 18 route on the 72. A bit of the old school version of it. A lot of players nowadays go the 16s.
Old school, new school. Right now, Ben just got schooled.
And I wonder if he had to miss a couple days of school to be here yesterday and Friday.
And that's all the school jokes we got in store for you.
Because we're too cool for school. All right, Taylor, only 55.
And right now, I mean, you mentioned that Ben was talking about some nerves, right?
He wasn't.
I thought you said you overheard. Or you overheard
Dad was just trying to make sure that he just settled in.
Right. The thing is, he's not really showing it.
No, not at all.
And that's the key. Is I don't like to give any unseen advantage, any intangibles to my opponents that give them an edge on me. And let's be honest. Right now, he's just focused, just throwing the darts and playing the game that he loves. That's what it's about. And the opponent doesn't know. Are you nervous? Are you feeling it? One way or another, it doesn't matter. Just going to play the game and take it one dart at a time.
Yeah, overall, both players, they're ranked 5th and 6th on the average in this tournament. Kira 5th overall with a 65.9. Ben right behind her at a 65.7. So this could not be a closer final for averages. You can see it's only a 1 point difference, 1-to-1 score line. There's nothing between them besides a lot of years of difference between when they were born.
And
that doesn't matter how old Kira is. She could be 25 and still a lot of years.
Yeah, well, and that's just a testament to the youth talent, right? I mean, 14 years old playing on a stage like this.
I hate him so much for that.
I was playing darts around that age. I didn't take it seriously until I was 16, though, and let me tell you, I would be shaking in my boots. I would be shaking my boots now, let alone at that age.
I wouldn't even remember to put on boots.
Now Taylor at 200, going to try to tee up very keenly for herself.
Oh. And that was one where she thought the exact same thing that you just said. I have to set up here.
And it's easy to get overly excited at the opportunity of saying, okay, well, now I'm in the good spot. I just need to take advantage of it. And when you start overthinking about that, you're not focusing as much on the individual dart that you're actually throwing. It's easy to get lost in the moment. And back-to-back visits where it's just kind of left some to be desired.
Yeah. And Ben's going down the 19s. Hates that first dart. A little snatchy from him. Leaves 109. So annoyingly, he's going to go back up, and he's just going to set this up perfectly just in case he gets a shot. It's almost must go now for Kira Taylor.
I was trying to leave a 32 there. Does pull into the 3, so not quite what he had in mind, but it's going to be just fine there if the 130 doesn't go. And it will not go, that first dart going away. We're just trying to stay true on those 20s, and if she would have gone a dart.
And we'll see how important that last dart is. It now cancels one of those darts at a double that he gets an opportunity to. But 2 match darts incoming. It's at tops.
For the win. Needs to settle that dart. Does settle, but unfortunately falling below the wire there. 62, she took the trip 10 route last time. Will it go in again?
Should only be 1 dart. It is at tops for the match.
And Kira Taylor's the champion.
Gets it done, immediately turns to Ben, gives a handshake, and you can see Ben a little gutted with his performance there because you know he's capable of doing some great stuff. We've seen him do some great stuff, and that was just a real gritty match there in the final, and of 2 deserving players to be at this point. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see every bit of it. We did. Hey, by the way, if you guys didn't know, the chalker is Ben's dad.
Great transition to that. Our producer maybe fed us a line that we've already given. But listen, let's talk this real quick. Kira Taylor, one of the few females in this event. She takes it down for the ladies. How about that?
Yeah, love it. The ladies and the youth well represented in this moment here. Great to see. Great to experience this. And I'm excited to see what's going to be coming up next for us, Nick, here as far as our day at DPFL.
Let's run through the rest of the lineup for this Saturday. I thought you'd never ask. 11 a.m. is round robins going on for Division 1 and for the women's division. So both divisions are currently playing their round robin format, which means that we are probably going to take a break during this round robin to come back for Premier Division and Premier Division? Round robin, Division 2 round robin. So there's a lot of round robins that we're going to have coming up from 11 to 2. The next big event that's happening is at 5 p.m., the Premier Division Playoffs Single Elimination Tournament with $3,000 to first place. So a lot of great action in store for the rest of this day and evening. USA Darts Productions here at DPFL Live Event number 3. Sean Green, Nick Dichiria, Will Stuart.
Hey, and by the way, one last thing. Ben's dad was the chalker in that match. Great to see you guys. We'll be back in just a little bit.